glass was awful sticky all of a sudden. I don't know what the deal is with that. This is the second casting session for the day, and the main purpose was the flask hardware that you just saw me undo. And this was an afterthought. I did this while the furnace was reheating again, and it was already reached core temperature. I had quite a bit of fallout on this one side, and I wasn't going to cast it, and I thought it's not that big a deal. Since the rest of the mold was already rammed up and I was in a hurry, so I've got some fallout here that I'm going to have to take care of. But other than that, why? Yeah, quite a bit of fallout there. When I pulled this halfway, it really pulled. Okay, so here's today's casting accomplishments. We did another set of flask hardware, and I needed to cast this twice because this is set up with one pair of wider sets and then one narrower set here. So for this smaller flask that I just built, I need two sets of the smaller, I guess this is a large one, I need two sets of these smaller flask hardware. So I cast one set earlier, this is a set I cast earlier, and I did two other castings at the same time, and then while everything was still hot I went ahead, reheated, and rammed up two more molds, and that's what you just saw me shake out, was another set of these. So now I've got enough small ones, I'll finish out that smaller flask so I can get on to doing the castings for the carriage stock for on the Atlas Lays, that little casting set that I did. So I'll get that set up here this week. So we've got two sets of those done. We did two sets of the flask hardware, and the second one I did, like I said, I had some fallout down in through here. It was an afterthought. I just rammed it up while I still had a little bit of time while the furnace was reheating for on the grown-up Quorn tool and cutter grinder. And I'd 3D printed this, and originally I was going to cast it with a core. So I've got bosses on both sides to accept a core. I decided yesterday for a one-off thing, I went ahead and pinned it together and just cast it solid. So I'll machine that out. Now, yesterday's casting failures. I spent all day long working on a little project I've been working on, and this is my failed casting for the, this is one of about 3 of my failed castings for the Atlas Shaper crossfeed cover. And this one I've got a lot of fallout here. My setup's not quite right yet. We're dialing that in, but there's the back side of it. And this one's ragged and not worthy of doing anything with, but the dimensions, I'm going to check dimensions off of it, so I'll make sure I've got my hole spacings right here, and the Gitz oiler goes in the top. We'll make sure those all fit. We'll see what our as cast center bore is here, and go ahead and machine it out. And I'll probably run this on my shaper just as a proof of concept thing. This was a process that I've just started trying to learn, and this is my first attempt at it. So while it was a failure from the standpoint of not producing any satisfactory castings, it's really pretty much a success because we've managed to do something and we're along the way here. So that was yesterday's all day long endeavor. By the time I got done, it was about 9 o'clock or 9:30 before I actually finished last night with this whole process, but we're learning something along the way. So hopefully you find that enjoyable. This is just a little quick update. Probably tomorrow morning we'll sit down and do a little flea bay edition, because I've been watching that pretty close and I see some changes happening there, and some things have popped up that are kind of interesting, and a couple of items have come up and people have jumped on them right away that I've seen. So I think we can have a little discussion about some of that stuff. I see some stuff listed this morning, as a matter of fact, that was new listings as new and unused and new old stock. And if you look at it according to eBay's definition of what they're considering to be able to be listed as new, why it kind of varies a little bit from what I actually consider to be new, because I see some stuff listed as brand new and new old stock, but it's actually used. So anyway, we'll talk about that tomorrow. So hopefully you find this a little bit interesting. A little quick update. Comments or suggestions, leave them in the comments section for me below. And as always, thanks for taking the time to watch, guys. Enjoy your day.